From WNYT Albany, News Channel 13 Live at 5 begins with breaking news.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for this special edition of Live at 5 here on YouTube. I'm Rachel Teedy.
And I'm Steve Cooge. We're starting right now with some breaking news just into us. This is happening in Troy. We've been alerted to a very heavy police presence. It can be seen right in the area of 4th Street between Ida Street and Jefferson Street.
Zach Richter joins us live from Troy right now. Good evening, Zach. Tell us what's going on here.
Good evening, Rachel and Steve. Well, there is indeed a very active police presence here, and we're just off of 4th Street right now, and I want you to take a look at this car here before me. This Ford truck looks like it just crashed into that telephone pole. The front of the truck seemingly all smashed there. Then the windshield here all shattered and cracked too. Now as we take a look inside the car, you can see those airbags deployed. On the ground right here, it seemingly looks like there's a piece of the car that lays on the ground, and you can see the police tape. Once again, a very active police scene here. There's about 8 to 10 Troy police cars, and on one side of the street on 4th Street, you see police just standing there, and we're being told there was a report of a man with a handgun who we were being told might have gone into one of the homes. We are not sure yet, but we'll make sure to update you with any information. We're live in Troy. Zach Richter, News Channel 13.
Zach, thank you so much. Let's take a look at your first warning forecast here tonight. A live look from the CDPHP first warning camera. 81 degrees out in Amsterdam. Lots of blue sky. An absolutely beautiful day, and nothing showing up on the live Doppler radar. It's a nice reprieve, perhaps, for people who are still cleaning up from all of the storm damage that we saw last week and earlier this week. So we have a good chunk of time to get rid of a lot of that damage here coming up in the next couple of days. 83 degrees at the Albany International Airport, 80 in Schaghticoke, 81 in Ballston Spa, 76 in Duanesburg. And temperatures as we continue into tonight, dropping down to the lower 80s and into the the lower 70s, I should say, as well. Coming up, MEFO forecast, we'll break down your weekend forecast hour by hour.
Looking good. Thank you very much, Rachel. Well, we're talking some politics right now. The excitement absolutely building for Vice President Kamala Harris about to make a historic visit to Berkshire County.
Harris is expected to show up. She was expected to show up as the VP tomorrow before becoming the presumptive Democratic nominee for president. So people living there were excited to learn that she's keeping her promise, putting Western Massachusetts in the national spotlight.
News Channel 13's Tessa Bentulin is now joining us live in downtown Pittsfield to share just where Harris is expected to be, and new at 5, the reaction from local residents out there. Hey Tessa, what are you hearing?
Hi, Steve. Hi, Rachel. Well, this is such a rare moment and historic moment for Berkshire County, and it's why a lot of people are excited about the attention that Berkshire County is getting to have a vice president and presumptive Democratic presidential nominee to be here. Now, I also spoke with a state representative in Massachusetts, as well as a person who's working closely on this event. They both told me that Kamala Harris is going to be here at the Colonial Theater in downtown Pittsfield, and the event is set to start tomorrow at 1:20 p.m., I'm told, and end around 2:40. So they're on a very strict schedule, I'm heard as well. Guests were given instructions on what to do when they arrive. The event is sold out. The program not only features Harris, of course, Senator Elizabeth Warren and former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick are expected to speak, as well as Yo-Yo Ma and James Taylor will perform at this event. So big event here in Pittsfield. And we got stopped by so many people today while we were out shooting some B-roll of the area, sharing their excitement about Harris's visit and how much they love the exposure and support it brings to the Berkshires and Pittsfield specifically.
I never would have expected a vice president that's running as president would come here.
We were vacationing in North Adams, and I'm actually bringing my sister to the train, which is not for a few hours. So we thought we would try to get some Kamala energy going here.
So a lot of people excited about this. They didn't expect this to happen, but just remember, if you do plan on being in the downtown area in Pittsfield, this is where the Colonial Theater is, just around here, make sure that you expect a lot of police presence and a lot of security here. So it's going to be very packed in this area, the Colonial Theater in the heart of downtown. And the city's Facebook page also notifying people, telling them that there's going to be road closures and parking restrictions in this area from noon to 5 p.m. tomorrow. So keep a lookout. out for that. Reporting live here in Pittsfield, I'm Tessa Bentulin. Rachel, back to you.
Tessa, thank you so much. Our special coverage on Vice President Kamala Harris's visit begins tomorrow.
News Channel 13, Sabrina Dami and Zach Richter, they're going to be live from Pittsfield on this historic visit.
Our special coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on News Channel 13. New at 5, the man who decided not to accept a plea deal yesterday after he saw our court-approved camera in the courtroom did plead guilty today. Zatar Creech, formerly of Northumberland, admitted to having sex with a child under the age of 17 multiple times in the town of Moreau in July of 2022. Under his plea deal, he would receive a maximum of 6 years in prison. He'll be sentenced September 27th.
Also new at 5, a Slingerlands man has pled guilty to sexual exploitation of a child. 75-year-old Danielle Fuino admitted that during the summer of 2022 and April of 2023, he would babysit a young girl at his home where he would engage in sexually explicit conduct. The child was just 6 years old at the time. As part of this plea deal, Fuino will serve 15 years in prison and must also register as a sex offender and pay restitution to the victim. He's set to be sentenced on November 26th of this year.
Tonight, Glens Falls is investigating 2 motor vehicles crashes involving e-bikes. Live at 4, we told you about the first accident that happened July 23rd. And new at 5, police say a second crash happened 2 days later at the intersection of Bay Street and Grand Street just before 7 p.m. Police say the user of the e-bike was traveling northbound on Bay Street. They ran a red light and crashed into an SUV. The driver was taken to Glens Falls Hospital, and they have since been released.
And we are #Raj on the Road. We are sponsored by Mohawk Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. We drive to Saratoga on this being the 3rd Friday of the 40-day meet. And the feature race, the Amsterdam Stakes, Grade 2, came in the 3rd race today for 3-year-olds. This was a 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. Everybody liked Jefferson Street, trained by Bill Mott. But here's Frank Miramati with the stretch call.
With Jefferson Street in hot pursuit, Junior Alvarado asking him to go now through a half in 44 3/5 seconds. World record, cuts the corner and goes on strongly, maintains a 3-length lead in mid-stretch. Jefferson Street is trying his best, but world record is turning in a sizzling performance. World record never gave them a chance, broke on top and poured it on to win by 5 lengths. Jefferson Street second, Valentine.
And world record at 6 6-to-1 odds. Flavian Proud aboard, paid $14.60 on a $2 bet. Nicely done. When we come up at 6 o'clock tonight at News Channel 13, joined by Tim Wilkin. We'll preview the running of the Jim Dandy Stakes, which is the big prep race for the $1.25 million Travers on August 24th. And we'll talk about Sierra Leone for Chad Brown being the favorite in a race that is going to feature a lot of speed. It sets up nicely for Sierra Leone to come from behind to win for Chad Brown. We'll preview that race with Tim Wilkin coming up on Big Board Sports on News Channel 13 live at 6. Steve and Rachel, back to you.
Sounds good. A lot of fun out there tonight. Thank you very much, Roger. Well, we do have some weather that we'll be talking about when we come back.
Yep, your full forecast coming up in minutes.
The viral nature of his obituary, I think, would have made him happy that he was finally able to not only come out, but come out big.
We are all storytellers. Stories live inside the person who finds the strength to meet the challenge of a coming day.
We're making this community strong.
Stories live within the hearts of our neighbors.
One Marine crawled Teddy's body and saved his life.
Stories live within the minds of those who seek to make change.
They only see one side of us, you know, we're human too, we have families.
And they live within the lives changed by a single defining moment.
Be as generous and kind as you possibly can to one another.
Stories live in each of us.
We got a miracle.
There's a story inside you. Tell the story. News Channel 13. Coverage you can trust.
Well, tonight we salute Herman Ross from Amsterdam. He served in the Navy during World War II in Europe and took part in the D-Day invasion of Normandy.
After the war, he owned Herm's charcoal pit in Amsterdam for 25 years. We salute him and thank him for his service.
Right now, the Olympic opening ceremony I think it just wrapped up in Paris, or it's taking place in Paris.
Looks like it's just starting to heat up if you look at that behind us. Wow.
Team USA made up of more than 500 athletes.
2 of those athletes are right from here in the capital region. Today, the Saratoga Rowing Association, Discover Saratoga, and Bright-Sided Media, they held a watch party at Lakeside Restaurant Lago by Druthers.
And this was to show support for Christy Wagner, Lauren O'Connor, and their coach, Eric Catalano.
Everyone is here to celebrate the 3 Olympians who are Saratogians, who are also competing in Paris for Team USA to win gold. And this is the community showing their support.
Well, that there is Christine O'Donnell, actually happens to be my wife on further disclosure here. Just want to mention that.
We know her well.
I know, big in the rowing community, and that's why it's so fun we put this on here.
That's so fun. Well, the local, or the first competition rather, takes place tomorrow morning. You can watch that right here on News Channel 13. Well, new restaurants are often hit or miss when they first start, but a new diner in Voorheesville was a hit even before the doors opened.
Listen to this. Here's why. The head chef and owner of the new Pretty Alright Breakfast Club is a social media star known for his fun cooking and egg flipping. Dylan Longton's videos have been viewed millions of times, and he also frequently has an audience of thousands of people watching him prepare dishes as he live streams from his kitchen. Dylan and his dedicated fans, they've encouraged him and supported him the whole way through this process of his restaurant.
And now the Pretty Alright Breakfast Club has lines stretching out the doors. Dylan says the most rewarding part is when his viewers tell him that watching him cook is helping them manage struggles like sickness and depression.
I feel like I'm cooking for a higher cause rather than just cooking itself, you know? So that's what, knowing that I'm helping people to that is what makes me kind of unstoppable, and I will always do that because I know it will reach somebody that could help.
So you can find the Pretty Alright Breakfast Club along Voorheesville Avenue. And you can even watch Dylan and his team live from inside their kitchen on Instagram and also TikTok.
Now, your first warning forecast with meteorologist Rachel Teedy.
Let's take a live look outside right now from the CDPHP First Warning Camera, Saratoga Springs. 83 degrees, a beautiful day out there. And temperatures across the area nice and warm. 79 degrees in Chatham, 81 degrees in Claverick, and 83 in Glenmont. We've got upper 70s, lower 80s in the North Country, 81 in Schroon Lake. Off to the east of Albany here, 81 in Rensselaer, 79 in Eagle Mills, 78 in Bennington. And off to the west, 82 in Little Falls, 81 in Perth, 78 in Hageman. Your hour-by-hour forecast is featuring lots of blue sky and very few clouds to keep us company. So no issues as you're heading home from work here on this Friday evening. Things stay dry for the overnight hours, and starting our Saturday off fantastic. By lunchtime, mostly sunny skies, a great day to get out and get the gardening done, perhaps. As we head into Saturday night and Sunday early morning hours, again, things stay nice and clear. For the lunchtime hour, again, clouds start to filter in just a little bit, but not creating any issues. So a great day, great morning to get out, have that brunch, go to church, whatever you like to do on your Sunday morning. And then clouds will increase slightly as we head into the Sunday dinner time hour, with those clouds staying primarily in the South Country here. So if you're heading to the track tomorrow, things start off a little bit on the cooler side, 61 degrees. Nice and sunny though. Post time is 12:35 for Saturdays. Just a reminder that's different than during the rest of the week. 81 degrees, nice and pleasant, staying in the mid-80s by the last race of the day with mostly sunny skies. So your running forecast for tomorrow, you have no excuse. You got to get out and do it. Things look fantastic, but if you don't like running in the mid-80s, shoot for earlier in the afternoon. Another great point of this forecast, that humidity has gone down. So we are in the wavy category. We could be in the hairspray category, so we're getting a break from it all. For tonight, 60 degrees is your low, mostly clear, cool and comfortable. For tomorrow, 86, mostly sunny, nice and warm. Your 7-day planner looks like this. Rain not until early next week, getting up to the upper 80s by Monday. Then we cool off, relatively speaking, to the mid-80s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Then back up to the mid-80s and lower 90s by Thursday and Friday. Keeping an eye on the rain to come still here as we start next week. But the weekend looks absolutely gorgeous. You could not ask for a better weekend.
I know. We were talking about maybe going up to Great Escape, maybe doing some
Great
swimming,
weekend for that, yeah.
Water parks. Hit that up. This is the time to do it.
It's going to be lovely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here live at 5 on YouTube. We're going to be doing a few of these during the Olympics.
All next week, Live at 5 is going to be here, but we will see you live at 6 on News Channel 13 coming up in just a bit.
Have a great one. See you soon.